Hello everybody, it's Richard Hart here. I just wanted to let you know that the Pulsechain.com mainnet has launched and Pulsex.com on that mainnet has launched as well. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. We waited a couple years for this and it's finally here.
Hey everybody, and welcome back. Man, what a day. What a day. Man, they often say that a lot of the losses and gains happen inside a 24-hour period. And obviously sometimes we can get a run. Man. We're going to talk about that after our stream closed yesterday. The Asian markets open, and that's when all the drama really began. It was already being front run a little bit before that. But man, probably on the pre-futures, and then when the Asian market, man, it tanked. Particularly the Japanese markets, absolutely. The Nikkei actually went down dramatically. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to get into obviously stock market. That's why we cover it on this channel, because we're well aware of these events happening. And then we're going to get into the crypto markets. Obviously, absolutely getting smashed. I mean, it was a big smash day. Smash, bang, bang. And then we're going to get into Pulsechain and a lot of the meme coins, everything else like that. So we're going to do a full market wraparound there as well. Now, obviously, lots of opportunities to pick up stuff at the moment. Still very volatile. We expect that to continue to run through into September. Remember, September is traditionally the negative month, the down month, and October is Uptober, right? So October is the opposite. So we may get a lot of this cleaned out by that time. We probably will get another event potentially in that 6-week period. So that's something to keep in mind of. So there will be bargains to pick up as well. So let's check it all out and get into it. Let's see who's in the house. We've got Lies Beneath today. How are you today? Very, very good. Hex, Pulsex, and Extended for the win, 100%. So we're going to get into that. We have had some money come over the bridge yesterday. Saved the bacon on the old Pulsex there. And then we also had some more money come in today. We have a bit of a mix around. So that's been pretty interesting in the markets. Let's see. We've got Joshua Hill in the house there. Good day, sir. Hey, Joshua. Great to see you in the chat there. Hope you're having a good time picking up some of these bargains at the moment. All right, let's get into it without further ado and kick it in there. If you're jumping in there, of course, get into the chat there. Make it lively. That's what makes these live streams so good as we share the journey on Pulsechain. Let's get into it. So we got the big drama all started after the live stream yesterday. We had the Nikkei 2020 the 225 or 225 index there. It absolutely got smashed down at 12.4%, and of course went down 4,451 to 31,458. Some crazy stuff. Look at that. It was pretty crazy. And so yeah, pretty bad on that one. Now we ended up having some positive stuff though in terms of the market. So the market has had a bit of a bounce, so it's kind of cool. But let's get into the follow-up. So after the Asian markets and then crypto went down, we had the US markets opening, and boy, it didn't disappoint. The Dow went down 1,033 points, a rout as slowdown fears triggered sell-off, all from that employment data last week, and of course the Asian markets today, yesterday. So pretty crazy. We've got the Asian markets opening up in the future. We're going to look at the futures where they are at the moment. Fortunately, I think this is kind of good news at this stage. But 1,000 points is a lot, but it's down 2.6%. And at this stage, that's not too bad. But if we get consecutive days of pullbacks, that is when we get a full-on correction. 20 to 30% is the kind of the thing there. I don't know if we're going to quite hit that yet, but we possibly could have something in the next 6 weeks. So that's definitely worthy of remembering. So yeah, we're down to 38,703 on the Dow Jones. Remember, the Dow Jones is the top 30 industrial firms. We got the S&P 500 down 3%, 160 points, down 5,186. We got the Nasdaq down 3.38%, down 567 points at 16,208. Remember, we have had pretty much a rally in these markets, and so they've just pretty much wiped off, quite a bit of that at the moment. And but this 3%, 2.6, not as bad as it could have been. 7% retrace. We saw the Japanese markets down 12%. So this is kind of good news in my view, at least at the moment. But of course, tomorrow's another day, right? Tomorrow's another day. So you'll have to definitely keep a lookout on the futures. We can see some of the futures at the moment look green at the moment. So we'll have to keep a tabs on those. So that's pretty much where we were on there. The US dollar ticked up a little bit there at 102.67. And let's have a look at the commodities, how they responded. Well, we got West Texas at the moment up 1.6%, $74, up $1.20. That's kind of an idea. Brent oil up slightly as well to $77.42. Gold up slightly, $4.20 to $2,448. And silver there up, almost 19 cents, $27.39. So that's kind of where the markets are at the moment. Looking to that, so obviously we pretty much had that the non-farm payrolls there. That's what jittered the market last week. Now, obviously, the Biden administration has pretended that the economy is doing better than it is, right? We all know it's not. But, they keep telling the lies, and hopefully enough ignorant people believe it, right? That's the kind of idea. So we've obviously seen a lot of trouble with the employment, and we know that the Fed was trying to trade employment away for lower inflation. And now the Fed is under pressure. The Fed is under a lot of pressure now to cut rates bigger and potentially earlier, but we shall see what they do there. We now expect faster cuts because the funds rate looks more clearly inappropriate high. The Fed looks behind, and of course, having worried too much about inflation for too long and held steady in July, the rationale for cutting now includes more urgent priority for supporting the economy. This is from Goldman Sachs. We also saw Elon Musk talking about the fact that he sees the Federal Reserve being foolish as well, and that they should have cut rates in July. The U.S. economy under a lot of pressure now. So there we're going to see. So we've still got economic data on Monday suggests a recession isn't on the immediate horizon. This is kind of the positive news as the July ISM services PMI bet economist estimate. So that's probably helped keep the market up today as well. So with that, with relatively less, not doing more than 2.5 to 3%, losses, and it could have been worse. So that's been kind of good news there. Now, the Federal Reserve speakers will be closely watched this week as investors priced in aggressive rate cuts ahead. Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee stated on Monday that the central bank is prepared to respond to signs of economic weakness hitting the current interest rates may be too prohibitive. The other thing, of course, there is an election coming up. And, of course, if you believe that the Fed is actually neutral, that's pretty interesting. Obviously, a lot of people may feel that they'll be leaning to the Democrats, and they may want to prompt up the economy a lot quicker for the election. So we shall see how that plays out. Obviously, Biden's boasted about the stock market, and of course, the stock market just had a big crash under his leadership. When asked about whether a weakening labor market and manufacturing sector might prompt action from the Fed, Goolsbee avoided committing to a specific course, but mentioned it doesn't make sense to maintain a restrictive policy if the economy is softening. They would rather have a soft landing rather than a hard landing. That's kind of the play. Markets now price on a 78% chance that the Federal Reserve will cut rates in September, but ease by a full 50 basis points. So I think they will go larger with the 50 basis points. Some on Wall Street aren't sure. The Morgan Stanley saying in a recent that there is clear evidence of cooling, but it's still too noisy to justify 50 basis point cuts. We shall see on that. So that's kind of where we are on that. Let's go to the actual market and see what they are thinking right now with the latest. And of course, we've got 6 weeks and 1 day to go until the Fed interest rate cuts. Now, are they going to have an emergency meeting before that? Let's see if that happens. That's going to be interesting if they do have one before that. And of course, at the moment, September is looking at 83% chance of a 50 basis point cuts from the markets. And I do think that that's probably heavily where the market will go. Now, it's going to be pretty interesting to see. And in November, there potentially another 50 basis point cut, or at least 25 there. 50? Yeah, 50 basis points cuts. Not the majority. 25% is still the majority, but I think it's probably going to lean towards 1 percentage gain rate cut by the end of the year between September and November. So that's bullish for the markets. That will help ease things off. But that doesn't mean the stock market's not going to do a bit of a tittle-tattle. We know typically when interest rates get cut that the stock market normally has a negative pullback after that. Will crypto follow? That's the question. I'm still bullish about crypto in October onwards. So we will see where that all lands by the time we get there. Those interest rates are a positive thing there. Now moving back in, so obviously the US market is closed relatively, down 2.5%, 3%, so not so bad, unlike the Japanese Nikkei, which started all this off down 12%. While the futures at the moment look like the Nikkei is, because of that US modest US pullback, that the Nikkei is actually the futures are looking at up 1.8% at the moment. So fingers crossed the Asian markets hold up a green day. That's a very important. We want to starve off another, cascade a couple of days in a row of negative, maybe even a week. That's the kind of thing what happens when it does cascade failure kind of thing. So fingers crossed at the moment. That's where we are. So, not all bad news, is it? Not all bad news for the time being. That leads us into crypto. Now, crypto obviously bled. Man, BTC down from 63,000, went below 50K. Unbelievable. Down 5.5% at the moment. So it has had a bounce back, as I said in the video chat there. I said modest bounce back. And that's kind of where we are at the moment. We're back up almost over $5,000 from the bottom. So if you managed to pick up some of that, was pretty cool. Now, interesting enough that the gas fees on Bitcoin were still really low during the whole period, 3 sats, 4 sats when I was looking, whereas Ethereum had rocketing gas prices, talking about up to 311 sats at least, or if even higher than that. It was pretty damn high. And of course, now it is still down 8.3% at 2,462, but went much lower. So we're going to look at that. And everything's pretty much down, obviously. Some of the slightly better performers, BNB, Tron, and XRP, Solana there, standing out there at the moment. So that is the overall market. Looking at Bitcoin, this is on the hourly chart. This shows you the carnage that we had. We started all the way up here at 61,000, say, and we all came all the way down. Look at that. Wow, far out. We came all the way down to $49,050 on Bitcoin. Is that crazy? That's crazy stuff. So those are the one of the big day, that big day there coming in here. That's pretty massive. So let's have a quick look at how massive that was. That was all the way down to 50. That's down almost 19.6%, almost $12,000, pretty much $12,000 rounded. That is insane stuff there. Big day. We do see those days, but that is massive. That is really crazy. Almost down 20%. We're currently down only 10% at the moment, so we've halved that. That's good news. We're only down $6,348 at the moment. Still a big day, but certainly looking better there. So there we go. That's on the hourly. Let's go to the daily chart, and we can see that we broke that 200-day moving average in blue. That 200-day moving average is now at $59,440. And of course, man, it would be quite something to get back to that. We did breach it here earlier in July, but of course now we've got economic news sitting behind this move as well. So let's see how far we can get back up here. Obviously, we slowly track up would be quite cool over the next couple of days. So hopefully that Asian markets futures ends up being the case when the Asian market finishes its day ahead of us after this live stream. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. Pretty crazy. And if we look actually over a longer period of time, not just the sort of 24 hours, we take it from back on the 29th of July. That is a pretty incredible decrease of around about 30%, almost 30% pretty much over the last week. 30% down over the last week. $20,879. How far we went down when we bottomed out there. Isn't that crazy? Almost $21,000 down 30%. That's some crazy stuff. Now we're not quite down that far now because the market's rebounded. We're down 21.5%, down $15,000 on Bitcoin in that 7-day period. So there we go. A bit of a bounce, a bit of a modest bounce, as I said on the video title. That's kind of where we are at the moment. Now, obviously, we're going to have volatility. We've been saying this for days and days and days. But of course, the Asian markets there took everyone a bit by surprise with the rout, and of course, backed on the employment there. So get market manipulators also moving this market. So we've had a lot of that going on. That's they take advantage of these opportunities after the markets had big rallies. Right, the Japanese market rallied into July, all-time highs, being down from there dramatically now. And of course, the US managing to still have that rally again, and has been tapered off there. So at the moment, we're sitting at $54,900 on Bitcoin, and we've still got obviously volatility all the way through to September, likely to happen, and then October may very well turn us around with the interest rate pivot looking ahead, right, which is on the 18th September. So that's kind of when we may get a trigger to the upside, but it could be pretty volatile in that period there at the moment, and we may very well get the stock market doing another down day. So that positive economic news that we had today, we're going to need more of that to hold the market up. All right. We also have seen, movements into utilities and more conservative investments as well for the market. That's what, capital flight into bonds, things like that, gold and stuff like that. So there we go. Is crypto going to gain from that? while we see it come down, pretty hard there, as we just showed you. So that's pretty much it. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment on the daily, that's kind of where we've come down from. You can see that there. We're down at 2,485, but we did get all the way low. We got so low, we got down to $2,116. Isn't that crazy? That's pretty crazy. Let's go look at the daily here on the Ethereum. Some pretty crazy stuff. You can hardly even see the wick on that candle because it's so far down. But let's have a look at where we have been recently from the 29th. Over the last week, we got all the way down, as I say, down to about here. So down 37.7%, man. Woo-hoo! So that's some crazy stuff. What I say was Bitcoin about 20%. This is 37.7% there. Massive wipeout in the last week. Pretty crazy. Now, we got down there, but we bounced back, and we're only down 27% at the moment. So down $900 at the moment. So that's still a lot, right? Still a lot because we're at 3,400 a week ago. We're now at 2,487. But if you were lucky enough to pick up the bottom there, that was down $1,266. So for that, so that's where we go. Now, it's going to be interesting to see the results tonight for the ETFs, both the Bitcoin and the Ethereum. And we see that some of the Bloomberg analysts are talking about they're expecting actually inflows and net inflows into the ETFs. So it's going to be interesting to see that. So that's kind of the play there at the moment. And of course, we've got the interest rate pivot we're expecting in September. US election is in November, and I think it's even more critical now that we get a Trump election. Trump victory. And of course, what would they call this crash that we've had today? You've seen online, they've called it the Kamala crash. So there we go. Not even a Biden, but Kamala crash there. So she's going to own that one. And then, of course, the market is looking, if they want to have employment and jobs and growth, they're looking for a Trump victory, right? Trump victory there. And get rid of the ideologues, get rid of the crazies, and bring in the business person. And with the best economic policy we saw last under Trump there, they know how to do the supply and demand policies and get things moving. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see that. That'll be good news for not only the economy, the markets, but particularly crypto. That's kind of where we are there on Ethereum at the moment. And let's have a look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin runes, of course. Now, obviously, meme coins on Bitcoin first season here on the runes protocol. And we can see that Dog Go to the Moon actually having a pretty nice bounce. Man, it got down pretty low yesterday, though, like all meme coins. But it is up 4.4% at the moment, back to 4.5 sats. Market cap managing to get back to $250 million there, 250 mil. So that's kind of up there at the moment. We see a little bit of a mixed results here in the top 10 of the runes. Lobo, the wolf pup, holding up pretty well as well. Tight, really strong community there on Lobo. So big shout out to the wolf pups, up 6% there as well. Looking not too bad. So there we go. A bit of mix across the board there with the old runes. Taken away there. Let's have a quick look at the NFTs or ordinals on the old there. Man, there's been such a big change. Man, there's a lot of innovation going on here. We know that a lot of the transaction space on Bitcoin is from the runes protocol, so it's doing very, very good. Look at us, Bored Ape and everything else. There's lots of activity over there. Man, that's just changed so much, the top 10. It really has been an innovative place here on Magic Eden, the number one DEX for runes protocol and ordinals. All right, so that's pretty much it at the moment. We can see Dog itself, zooming in on Dog. You can see Dog, got sold off pretty hardcore, or went below 0.2 of a penny and got down to just under 1,800 of a penny. But it's had a nice little rally up here. Look at this little fight back. And then just in the current hour, you're getting pushed back up to $0.25 of a penny. What a strong doggy. Go dog, doggy dog. Woof. That's pretty much it. And you heard it here first. Don't go and clip that and put it on Next Pro platform, by the way. But that is it. That's the dog. It's going, woohoo! Let's go. That's a really nice little pushback there, back to $0.25 of a penny. Very, very nice indeed to see that on the hourly. Let's go to the daily on Dog. Have a look at the Dog on the daily. You can see it's come all the way down. Very good buying zone at the moment. Obviously, some people would say shy away from meme coins at the moment, given where the market's at. But no, definitely a good little pick up there at $0.25 of a penny at the moment. As you saw, it's back to 4.5 satoshis. So there we go. That is pretty much it at the moment. And man, when this chart goes on the rebound, it just got shy of 1 cent, just shy of $1 billion. And it's back at $250 million at the moment at this current price. So there we go. If it gets back to half a penny, that's $500 million, etc. Just the nice even math there for the old dog here on Gate.io, the number exchange. Now, I think they've done over $1 billion of trading volume. They've made about $1 million in fees as Gate, and so we're still waiting for other tier one exchanges to list, like the Binance and stuff like that. So it's got all this potentially in the future for Dog to Moon. Now, looking more broadly at all the meme coins here, we've got at the moment, we've got Dogecoin is down at 14.2 billion. Now, when I first started looking at this and talking about it on the channel, Dogecoin was up at $24 billion, and now it's at 14.2. Is that insano in the braino? It is insano in the braino, and it's down 24% for the last last week. Now, Dogecoin and SHIB had been holding up relative to all the other meme coins, but now they've kind of followed suit to some degree. Not as extreme, but it's definitely the percentages are there. Now, SHIB making a bit of a fight back at the moment, up 4% on the 24 hours. But you can see all the other meme coins, Pepe, Dog with Hat, they're down 36, 41% respectively. Bonk's down 30%, and Floki's down 32%. So you've got some real hits on some of the leading meme coins. Brett on Base Chain, down 30% there. Boom, down 37%. You can see some pretty heavy numbers here. So it's pretty much around 30 to 40% is a lot of these meme coins down. Popcat on Solana is down 40%. So you can see what I mean. It's down. Punky there, down 43. Now, a couple of these shouldn't be here. Like these two here, they should be down further below because the market caps. I don't know why they just get out of kilter on the old index here. But Dog and the Moon should be actually above these two. And it's currently at, like I say, $250 million here, Dog over the Moon, and up 6.7% last hour there. So the last hour is showing some really nice green candles. Look at that. Popcat up 11%. So some good stuff happening there. Now, that's pretty much the meme coins at the moment. We've got the total market cap at the moment is at 1.93 trillion for all the crypto. That is down 7% over the last 24 hours. But the volume is at 246 billion. What's that? $250 billion dollars of volume, up 224% on the market at the moment. Isn't that crazy? That is where we are at the moment on the old crypto. That's going to lead us into Pulsechain for day 451. We're going to talk about that in a second. So before we do that, let's say hello to a few people else that have jumped in the chat here. We got Bitfinex in the house. Hey, good to see Bitfinex. Bang, bang. We talk slang. You sell your crypto. Bangarang. And buy, sell. I mean, buy, says Bitfinex. How about that? I like that one. We got Joshua with the thumbs up. Big shout out. I think that was to my comment earlier when Joshua came into the chat. We got Tintop in the house as well. What's up? Hexkins. Good to see Tintop. Hope you're doing well, mate. And what else there? We got Wookie in the house there. Wookie is here. Never fear. We got Property View as well. Good coverage of the economy. Cheers, says Property View. I appreciate that. Big shout out to you. We got Archie as well. Hi, all. See, here's the Don of the Syndicate. Now, I have set up a show for, Saturday my time. It will be Friday Northern Hemisphere time or US time. And that is going to be with the Syndicate and Archie. So don't want to miss that. If you're in the Mafia game, the number one GameFi on Pulsechain, then you don't want to miss the Syndicate, the number one family on Pulsechain. We're going to have a good session about that. So don't miss that one. I know many of you are in the Syndicate. So big shout out. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep making your players stronger, accumulate for the family, make the family stronger. And that's how we all, win over time and be consistent. Number one thing there. What else there? We've got Clintrons in the house there. G'day, crew. Good to see you, Clintrons. Hope you're doing well as well. And Wookie says, dog. Woofty there. You're looking good. All right, so that's on Bitcoin. It's always good to have diversification in your portfolio, right? And you can see that now in these kind of markets, very important. So very, very cool to that. And of course, have good risk management policies as well. Like a certain amount of stable coins, pick up the big dips and things like that. Always good to do that. All right, let's get back into Pulsechain and see what the results are for day 451. 451 days of Pulsechain, isn't it crazy? I said it yesterday when we covered day 450, but man, it is insane in the braino. We got Pulse at the moment is down 4% at quadruple 0381 at the moment. We've got Pulsex at the moment is down only slightly, actually, 0.7% at quadruple 0216. The buy and burn at the moment is at 940 billion, 771 million. And we've got the buy and burn total percentage at 4.65% is bought up and burned as part of the public supply. Incentive token at the moment is down 1.09%. So the ratio has bounced, hasn't it? Because Pulse is down 4%, incentives only down 1%. So 3% of that is attributed to the the ratio, and the ratio is now 57,489. So let's just say 57,500 to round it off. So that's kind of increased. So yeah, incentive token doing very well, $2.19. Now we did see some capital come over the bridge, and we saw some buying of PulseX and incentive yesterday, very crucially holding up that price and allowing it to not drop so much. That was really cool. Eventually dropped, but it really softened the PulseX incentive there. So that was pretty interesting behavior. You can decide who that was, of course. And we got the total supply at 38.8 million, almost 38.9 million incentive tokens in existence. And of course, they're created from the Pulsex V1 farms. That's how we rock and roll here on Pulsechain. Hex at the moment down almost 5%, 4.9% at 0.0463. And of course, that's 4600th of a penny. EHEX at the moment is down at 1/10 of a penny. And the combined price of EHEX and PX is at 5600th of a penny. So it's a bargain right now on the old Hex there. And that's kind of where we are at the moment on those markets. So it's day 451. Let's have a look at the charts. I've got the 4-hourly charts up here for Pulse. We can see that we're kind of up here at quadruple 04200, and we came all the way down, folks, all the way down to 3500. Is that insane? And the brain on the 4-hourly, and we've been pushing up for the last 4-hour periods. And of course, the RSI got oversold, pushed back up there, and we've got plenty of room to move. We can get a bit of a rally on. The daily at the moment on Pulse, you can see us at the moment at 3800, and the RSI is just hit oversold period. Just down here, so it's a good chance that could rally up. Either that or move sideways just for a little bit before it does it. Plenty of room to move, like we say. So that is pretty much it, and that is all. Is that a new all-time low? I think it is. Not quite all-time low, but definitely pretty low there at 3,500. We've been lower than that right back here. We got to 3,300 is our all-time low there based on this chart, and that is where we are. So pretty unbelievable. But is that it? Is that the over? Well, I still think we've got a bit of volatility ahead of us, as I say, in August, September. That being said, I do find the fact that we're going to have Richard Hart's SEC response. You can see that's going to be on the 22nd. I do see that as a bullish thing. So we'll see what the market prices that in, but I do see that as kind of a bullish event there. But then, of course, we've still got the overhang of the oral arguments in October there. So hopefully the rest of the market has picked up on the interest rates and the expectations around the elections. And we get that October feel as well in the markets. And it's opposed to Bitcoin halving, where we typically would have a rally starting soon. So hopefully this is kind of that last little loop here, maybe ahead of us for the next 6 weeks, and then we can start building that rally. So let's see how we go with the economic news and stuff like that. We'll just have to play it by ear as we go. Pulsex at the moment, though, of course, you can pick up so much Pulse at the moment. It's crazy. And, just accumulate massive bags of Pulse. Pulsex at the moment is on the 4-hourly chart. We can see it here. The RSI got oversold as well, just pushing back up way higher, actually 46. And, of course, this is where we saw the funds come in and support the chart. Here we are on the chart here. So you can see we've got sold off here from 2,300. And we got all pushed all the way down to just below 1,900. And we're back up at 2160, which is a really nice little recovery there at the moment. I'm really liking this. We did have support. Let's go to the hourly. Just want to show you that. Let me see here. So I think this is the chart. This is the one. Yeah, I think this is the chart, the hour here, where we had the big buy. So we actually wicked all the way down to 1953, and then we saw the big buying come in. And I think that's what happened there. And yeah, and then we moved sideways up that. So we saw the big buy that saved our bacon, pushed us back up from the low of 1950, pushed us back up to 2100, which was really cool. So a big shout out to the buyer there. And then that was several $100,000. And then we started sliding down again, down to 1886. And then we didn't see any buying come in for that event. And then up we come there as well. So there was only so much money allocated for that little buy up there. And then we're back up now at 2160. So yeah, kind of cool to see. It'd be really neat if we can get back up to 2,300. That would be really cool. Even 2,200 would be very cool. And that's not far from where we are at the moment. So fingers crossed we can get there. Let's go to the daily on Pulsex. Pulsex there. So look at the daily down at 39 RSI. So plenty of room to move up should the market look to do so. And of course, here we are on the daily. Sort of big hammer wick there. And let's see where we go from here. The chart's still holding up, though. I mean, let's go full screen here. and we can still see the chart is still holding up there on that angular support. So things, still looking pretty strong for the old Pulsechain chart, and showing some resilience there, 2160. So that's pretty much at the moment. INC as well. We know the ratio is doing extremely well. This thing is holding up like a boss. We did see some buying on this chart as well, like we saw on Pulsechain, and the market range is holding up. Look at that. That's on the daily there. Look at that holding up there. Pretty awesome. And 57,600. Unbelievable. This chart's just doing amazing things. All right, so Hex here. This kind of being the poor cousin on the 4 hourly. You can see us coming down here. It came all the way down to 4,100. Can you believe it for Hex here? And then we're back up at 46. So nice little recovery as well. So oversold down at 19 and back up at 40. Let's go to the daily. And the 4 hours kind of the trader's view, right? So that's kind of where we're looking there. 4 hourly, the daily there, all the way down. We're down to 30, man. We're just on the precipice of the oversold period. But man, can we recover here? 4,600, pretty good recovery in my view at the moment. But man, it'd be great to get just back up to half a penny. Would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? That's kind of the play there at the moment. So we've got plenty of room to move on a rally. So picking up down here, probably not a bad idea, DCA, and could get with the RSI all the way down here. Just got to manage to hold on to it for some time, and up you go. You're going to get the upside of the RSI at some stage. So there we go. That's some free tip of the day. EHEX, of course, did something dramatic. EHEX is the insano and the braino. It was way down here at just below 0009, man. Isn't that crazy? 900th of a penny there. And yeah, we're back up to 1/10 of a penny. That's some crazy stuff right there. RSI oversold and back up to 44. So yeah, likewise, some good value there for Hex at the moment. All right, so that was it for day 451 for those markets. Let's go to the rest of the markets. We're going to have a look at the Hex derivatives and see where that's at the moment. So the best performers at the moment, Hedron on the bounce back 3%, Icosa up 2%. So modest, bounce back here for the Alex McFurter products. And then all the Hex mining pools just up slightly on Decky, the 10-year, and Trio, the 3-year one there. All the rest of them down at the moment. Let's go to stable coins, see if anything's managed to do something special there. We've got PDI making a bit of a gain, 14.4%, sitting at 1,700th of a penny. So that's kind of cool to see, followed by its, I don't know, the two sisters, I don't know, USDC and Tether. There we go, is up, just 11, 10% respectively. AUSD, which is the other speculative stable coin we're looking with the burn, is up 6.6%, although the burn's going much slower than people anticipated there. Just take note of that. But that is where it's at the moment. Influencer coins, well. Maddie Allen here up 24%, almost 25% at almost $2 here. So a nice little bounce back from Maddie Allen, ticking away there. And this is the daily chart. There's a little bit of green on the last 2 days, but had been sold off after that big rally. Remember, it had basically got sold off the first time, had another rally here, and it's been sold off. And it's got a higher low, though, at the moment, and now at $1.99. It's ticking away there at the moment on Maddie Allen. More token from Travon, up 5% as well. Ben from Ben V1. This is the Pulsechain copy, Ben V1 at 1.7% there. It's not V2, right? That didn't get copied over. And it's also not the other token, the Bromance, which Ben Armstrong launched, which is down 4.4%. Pretty much it. Now, the pick that we talked about yesterday is SolidX. Now, SolidX is down at $14.60. Now, this is the one that's got a big gain coming out, right, on top of it. Could be potentially a rival to Mafia. Mafia is the biggest GameFi project on Pulsechain, but maybe the game's going to be that good. They've certainly got good marketing and network effects, so we're going to be looking out for that. They've got a lot of investors in that mark, so it's going to be interesting to see the game. And that's coming from Eric, of course, from Dragon X, who's in the Titan X ecosystem, but also building on Pulsechain. So that's a little bit of a tidbit I gave yesterday, and that could be happening here as well. So where the RSI is definitely oversold on the daily, down at 24 and at $14.58. Now remember, SolidX is also the whale, Randy Halasky's whale friend, who leading this one here on SolidX and that game coming out. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that influences SolidX going forward. Definitely $14.58 at the moment. And looking at that full chart, you can sort of see the full chart there. Big hyper rally at the beginning. We were watching it down at I think it was $2, and then of course it rallied all the way up to some insane $230 or whatever it was. Pretty crazy price. In fact, what was the price? $265. That was the high. It's currently at $40.58. There we go. So, you ride it with the big boys, but it's got a big game coming out some stage. So we'll keep a lookout for that too. So that's pretty much it on the influencer coins. Let's go to the overall market on Pulsechain and see where that's at. What sort of volumes did we have? $32.6 million. Wonderful. Okay, so we got the volumes. We've been after 25 million plus volumes in a weekday. Well, we got it, but unfortunately it was such a negative day. But we did have a bounce back, a modest bounce back, we'll say, and 32.6. But we had some support there as well, so it's kind of cool to see that come in. 260,000 transactions, kind of neat. So everything, look, this is much better results. This is kind of what we want to see in terms of volume, but we want it on the upside, right? And of course, go even higher than 32. Obviously, get up to 80 million, 100 million days. That would be pretty neat. The top performer at the moment on the trending is a Pika. It's up 20% there. Die Hard, they're up at 11% as well. That's on the back of PDI, of course, going up. Teddy Bear up there 10% at the moment. UFO from PDC is up 9%. Loan token. Good to see a utility token up here. That's up 8.7%. In fact, how is loan token going? Let's have a look here. Loan token, that's the chart. It's hard to get it right. It's come off the bottom. I mean, it was down at 5 zeros, 1320. It's now 5 zeros, 2000, let's say. That's kind of bounced there. Little bounce back there for liquid loans. One of the top DeFis on Pulsechain. What else is looking interesting? LUSD, we just talked about that earlier. H2O, they're up 6.6%. Mafia making a bit of a bounce, 6.4%. And of course, we're going to be covering Mafia this weekend on Friday US time, Saturday, down under time here in good old New Zealand, Australia, Pacific Islands. That's kind of where we are, 6.4%. Looking not too bad there as well. What else there? Those are kind of the leaders at the moment. Plenty other little modest green ones down below that. That's pretty much it for Pulsechain. Looking at the rest of the Pulsechain ecosystem, 338,000 beats, pretty similar to yesterday. Half a penny for a Pulsex swap at the moment, 3/100th of a penny for a Pulsecoin transfer, 800th of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. Great time to do business on Pulsechain. After all, if you didn't see the Ethereum markets, they went through the roof. They went through the roof with the gas prices. Let's go have a look at that on Ultrasound Money. That was crazy on the gas prices. Look at this. This is the 7 days. Let's go to the last day. Actually, let's do 7 days because it's actually got a better preview. So we were really down low, down really super low here on the Gwei. One Gwei. We're having one Gwei on Sunday. Crazy stuff. One Gwei on Sunday, and then suddenly the markets go crazy. And I said 310, but it actually went up to 647 Gwei on Ethereum. And look at that crazy stuff there. It came back down, and then it went back up again to just below 260 Gwei, and it was very volatile. Look at those Gweis. Back down now. Got down to 1.58 earlier today, and it's just climbed back up to 5 Gwei at the moment on Ethereum. So there we are, crazy stuff. But on Pulsechain, super cheap, right? Super cheap, 970 times cheaper than Ethereum, even with Ethereum at 5 Gwei. So there we go. Great place to do business on Pulsechain. Remember, Pulsechain's a layer 1 too. You've got no one else to rug your stuff on there like layer 2 protocols or stop the chain, things like that. So it's super bullish. 48,387 active validators at the moment. 1.55 trillion Pulse staked as well. Moving to the bridge. Let's see what the bridge has got to show. Okay, it's down from yesterday. We were at 92 million yesterday. We're down at 90 million today. But of course, the markets went through the roof or down through the floor yesterday before bouncing back. So we've got a die down is at 27,800. That was over $29.2 million yesterday. So that's definitely come down. Ether, of course, has come down 22.6 million. Wrap Bitcoin come down, of course, with the Bitcoin move down and so forth. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think USDC looks kind of similar. I just can't remember what that was yesterday. I think USD Tether looks down a bit too, and EHEX, of course, went down as well. So overall net looks like we netted down about $2.2 million with all those values moving down with the market. But 90 million still holding up, I guess, relatively strong. Could have been a lot worse, but there we go. That is pretty much it for day 451, and we've just started day 452 on Pulsechain. That's how we rock and roll, and there's opportunities galore out in the market. Let's have a quick look at see whether what Hex results are for Pulsechain. We haven't got today's results. They seem to come out a bit later these days. But we have got yesterday's results, and it looks like we got 7.135 Hex per TShare for day 450. So there we go. We're waiting for day 1708 come out, which is a EX date, which would be day 451. So not too bad there. We did a bit of move of share rate 2 days ago, and T shares were down 4,800. We're just below 9,190,000 T shares at the moment in the ownership pool on Pulsechain for Hex. And the rewards penalties, pretty modest penalties, 318,000, 65.5 million. And this is 2 days. We've got today's results will come out probably in the next half an hour or so. We'll see. That's pretty much it. A bit of growth on the liquid holders, up 16, down 9 on the miners. Still 123,240 miners on the old Pulsechain. Now, we haven't had Ethereum data out here for ages, since the 24th of June, so I don't know what's happening there. Maybe the guy's on holiday. Who knows? All right, that's pretty much it. That is the market. What a day. What a day. So, a bit of hope there, a bit of positivity with the Asian market futures looking good. Let's hope it stays that way and that they manage to hold on. And, of course, we've had a bit of a modest bounce back for Ethereum, Bitcoin, Pulsechain. So that's not too bad as well. If you manage to pick up some of those dips on the way, that's kind of cool. And we can see that the meme coins have come down a lot in value. So very obviously when there's risk off, those, you get those big moves down. That's just the way it goes. And when risk is on, you get the leverage up to the upside. So take care out there at the moment and try and pick off some opportunities while you can on the way. But it will definitely, I think the next 6 weeks definitely volatile, and we have expected that, but even more volatile than we expected with the Asian markets kicking it off after those employment data. Who would have thought? But that's why we've been following the stock market. You wonder why we do that on this channel, because we know that key metrics scan inflation metrics, employment metrics, manufacturing metrics, interest rates. They can impact the market, and that's what we saw on Friday last week and into Monday in the Asian markets there. So just the way it goes. All right, let's see here. We've got Harry in the house there. Hi all, long time no see. I'm still here buying the dip. Nice one there, Harry. Welcome back. Good to see you as well. Colt Hodgkins there. What's up all? Hope everyone has managed to buy some of those great discounts you stay. If not, hopefully you could at least hodl, says Colt. Nice words there. White Swan event for those with dry powder, says Tintop. I like that one, White Swan. Not a Black Swan event, but a White Swan event. Very, very cool. All right, that's 42 minutes on the hour. Man, I can't believe we got through that so fast. Man, I must have been absolutely on a tear. Now, I want to do a big shout out to, we saw yesterday, we talked about Noah Lyles winning the 100 meters at the Olympics. Well, today with the long jump, we saw Duplantis break the world record again, his own world record. He's breaking his own world records one after another. But that guy is some superstar. The American who did a great job did, I think, 5.95 meters. But Duplantis just broke the world record at 6.26 or something. It was pretty high meters. Just incredible. The guy is like the bolts of pole vault. He is just unbelievable athlete. Just incredible technique. Big shout out to the Philippines guy. He came in fourth place, unfortunately, but man, his run up on the vault is incredible. There's a Philippine guy, I can't remember his name, but he's from Philippines, and his running style is just almost like he's floating on the air. So big shout out to him for that. Unfortunately, he didn't get to the bronze. He got this. I think that he got the same height result, but he must have done it and maybe took more times to get it or something like that. So I guess that's why he got fourth. So that's kind of it on that one. Let's see how we go. Let's see if what happens for tomorrow, and look forward to talking to you guys again. Like I say, we're going to have the syndicate on Friday, Saturday coming up. So don't miss that if you're in the syndicate, and spread the word about that one. I haven't finished setting it up. I've scheduled it, but just need to put thumbnail on it and get them to send out the invites. That's going to be a lot of fun for the syndicate if you're in the Mafia family. Keep up the good work. Make us stronger, all the individuals. And so one game where the individuals make the whole family stronger, right? So do what you can to do that, and that'd be great. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't forget the Discord is linked in the video description. Join up today if you haven't joined. It's $5 a month to join up to a private Discord. And, of course, you get all the best information and the best community. Definitely worth signing up there. And, of course, if you want to join Strategy Club, multi-chain, then join up to Strategy Club. That's $35 a month as well. It's a private club within the Discord. So get in there on that one too. All right. Should we play out a cool video on the way? You know what video I'm going to play. You guys know. Already. Let's see here. Let's go. All right. Peace out, everybody. Take care and catch you again tomorrow for the next market update. Bye for now.
in theory, if someone were a billionaire and they had like all this money, why wouldn't they just buy more of the thing they liked instead of dumping the thing they liked? Like if Bezos bought shares in Amazon, would you be pissed off? If Apple does a stock buyback and they buy more of their own shares in their company back from the public, which is a way to turn earnings into yield for the shareholders, do you get mad and yell at Apple? And so we had to come up with a word for this fan fiction fantasy, which is the opposite of a rug pull, called a magic carpet ride. And so if you're worried about risk of a rug pull, what weighted value have you given the risk of a magic carpet ride? And it's just hilarious to me.